This month's podcast takes a look back at the discussion between the principal of Brockton High School, Kevin McCaskill, and JFY's executive director, Gary Kaplan, which was featured this past April. Prior to beginning his time at Brockton High School, Mr. McCaskill served as assistant superintendent of secondary schools for the Boston Public Schools. He was also executive director at Madison Park Technical Vocational High School from 2015 to 2021, and director of school design and programming at the Hartford Public Schools from 2010 to 2015. Before that, Mr. McCaskill served as principal of Springfield's Putnam Technical Vocational Academy. This podcast was created by JFYNetWorks, a Boston-based nonprofit provider of blended learning resources, training, and support. JFY's individualized, self-paced curriculum helps raise individual and school performance by recovering learning loss and reaching and maintaining grade-level skills. For JFYNetWorks, I'm Greg Cunningham. Brockton High School has long been the largest school in Massachusetts at 3,500 plus enrollment. In April of 2024, Mr. McCaskill had been in his current position for just a few months. In this conversation with Gary Kaplan, he explained why he accepted the principal job at Brockton High School.
It was the lure of Brockton High School. I mean, when you talk about Brockton High School, you talk about the largest high school in the Commonwealth. And when you look at the school itself and you look what's inside this school, there is just so much opportunity here for every single student that walks through our doors. And I thought it definitely would be an honor to really be the principal here at Brockton High School.
So you walked in the door a couple of months ago, and of course, the first thing to confront you is a whole lot of press for quite a long time about disciplinary issues.
Sure.
How have you confronted all of that?
One day at a time. One day at a time. And I think a lot of it is, just being visible and accessible to both students and staff, creating some structures that we can put in place to really slow down the levels of fighting and disrespect towards staff, really setting a tone that, one, violence is never an option here at Brockton High School. And I think utilizing some, the effects of the code of conduct and all the disciplinary actions that we can, I think has helped. Putting in a structure such as in-house suspension has aided us as well. But really having, the administration be very visible and out in the hallways and the such, and teachers as well. Everyone is playing their part, and slowly but surely, it's a process. We're beginning to see some small gains each and every week.
People talk a lot in these situations about school culture. Establishing a positive school culture. Is that a term that you use?
Well, I think for us, we want to have a culture that's conducive to positive outcomes, both for students and staff. And, with that, putting people in the right places where they need to be from a staffing perspective, making students feel extremely comfortable in the school that they're in, where they're able to walk freely to and from classes, and that they're going into classes where they'll be received, openly and warmly, have the opportunity to voice their concerns over, hopefully in a respectful manner. And when you create that tone, throughout the school, that's when you get to a culture that's really conducive to positive outcomes.
One of the key elements in Mr. McCaskill's long career has been his ability to gain the trust of both teachers and students. He anticipated that this role at Brockton High School would be no different.
One person, one adult at a time, one student at a time. Really being an avid listener and someone who has just been in the building for roughly 2.5 months. I'm learning myself, and it's amazing how helpful folks are when you're trying to learn and navigate your way through, new territory. But being an avid listener, I think, is important. Being present when people are talking, looking them eye to eye, and giving people time, giving people the opportunity to share their ideas and thoughts and concerns, and really moving into action to really either alleviate, any issues that may, obscure our progress, or really look to help be a problem solver to really aid in the effect to keep the school moving in the right direction.
Mr. McCaskill knows one of the best ways to build trust and relationships with students is to simply be visible.
Case in point, in the morning, I probably see the vast majority of our students getting off the buses every day. So again, greeting them or being very consistent in morning greetings. And so they get that recognition that someone's going to be here every day, greeting me with a smile and a hearty good morning. I mean, that goes a long way.
So you meet the bus? You meet the bus every morning?
Every single morning, all 39 of them.
39 buses. Wow. So you're out there, rain or shine, I presume.
Rain or shine. Rain or shine.
Yeah.
I'm thankful and grateful to have, an administrative team that is actively involved in all facets of the school. I mean, we have, the school is divided by 4 houses, which have 2 administrators per house. And they do the bulk of the work, and they're phenomenal at what they do. They folks come to work every day with their hard hats, and I tell you, they build great rapport with kids. They really work with the adults, and there are things that we have, from a structural and procedural and protocol perspective, we have things we still have to continue to work on. But overall, I think our visibility and our willingness to work collaboratively really shows on a daily basis.
What Mr. McCaskill looked forward to most was to focus on finding success, many examples of which already existed in the building.
And so what are some of those practices that we can really hone in on to really aid in academic achievement? So it's looking at what structures are in place when it comes to lesson planning, and when it comes to something as simple as, do we have a syllabi for all our content area courses? And so starting from that point of view. So it's really looking at our structures, our academic structures, and seeing how we can enhance them in order to start making some headway. I'm positive that we can, and it's not pie in the sky or being overly optimistic. I see what's here on a daily basis. And I know that we can achieve at high levels, but it's going to take some time. And again, it won't be something that happens overnight or by magic. But if we have some folks who are really interested in moving the needle forward, which I know we have here at Brockton High School, it will be done.
That requires the cooperation of all the teachers, and you've got a lot of teachers in that building. Do you think that will be possible, that the teachers will follow through on your plan?
Oh, I believe so. I think we have folks who are really looking at how do we make change? How do we make successful change? What are some, and they're looking for leadership and guidance in that fact. And I think I know it has to come from me, but making sure, Gary, that we are always data driven. And when we're looking at data just as an MCAS and a whole bunch of metrics on how do we really review that, and how does that inform the work that we're doing? And I think we have the tools, not only the tools, I think we have the team that can really make a huge dent in any situation, if it's discipline, if it's academic achievement, even with this deficit. How do we make, with the deficit that we have in the district, despite the deficit, how do we make things work? How do we make them continue to work successfully despite not having the funding behind it? I really, and it's not hopeful thinking. I just see what has transpired over the last two and a half months, where there's beginning to be a nice buzz and a new energy that's being created, and supporting staff, giving staff the time and space and resources to do the things that they need to do to be successful, hearing the concerns and acting on those concerns. And it's not always going to be perfect, but really being an avid listener to what's going on, and a mover and a shaker to really make a difference, not only in the lives of our staff, but most importantly in the lives of our students. That we, no matter what we are, if we're a teacher, an administrator, paraprofessional, custodian, support staff, we have one common goal, working for what's in the best interest of our students. Well, Gary, it's about passion. It's about the passion of this profession.
Yeah.
Something that I've been blessed with for 36 years to be able to do. And I'm thankful and grateful every single day that I'm able to do this. And the question, if I'm able to do it, why not give 100% every single day? Because as you know, Gary, nothing is ever promised tomorrow. So we might as well give it all up today. And hopefully, God willing, we can do it the next day.
The most important orientation of any leader, as far as McCaskill is concerned, is to have faith not just in yourself, but in the colleagues around you as well.
Yeah, you have to have faith in everything that you do. You have to have faith in the individuals that you're working with, and faith in the belief that all things are possible. And I truly believe that. I've been believing it for 36 years in this business, and I think nothing can detract me from that. There's some high energy, high intelligent folks working in this district who really want to see change, and I feel so comfortable around them and with them and their ability to really assist in just really providing the change that we need to make, the changes we need to make to really make this work.
In the next few months, JFY's podcast will again feature Kevin McCaskill as he continues his first year at the helm of Brockton High School. We look forward to hearing updates on the school's current practices and his evolving vision for the future. If you have any questions or comments, please navigate to our website, JFYNet.org, which features a wealth of commentary, dialogue, and free educational resources, including these monthly podcasts, to support all educational communities. Thank you for joining us. For JFY Networks, I'm Greg Cunningham.